Late show from Coventry City as Bobby Thomas secured all 3 points for the Sky Blues in a stoppage time win over QPR. The first half, QPR's Michael Frey had the best chance of the evening. He was picked up by Kenneth Parr's wonderfully weighted cross, but his effort was thwarted by Coventry goalkeeper Oliver Dovin. Now, Dovin also made a brilliant double save to deny Elias Chair and Paul Smith in quick succession, and he was busy throughout the match. Also acrobatically beating away another Smith effort in the first half and turning another effort around the post. Jack Colback fired an effort wide following a well-worked corner for QPR, and Matt Grimes forced QPR goalkeeper Paul Nardi into his best stop of the evening. Coventry had the ball in the net with under 10 minutes to go, but Tatsuhiro Sakamoto's celebrations were cut short by the assistant referee. The decisive moment, though, came in the 4th minute of stoppage time. Bobby Thomas headed in a corner from Jack Rodoni to score the winning goal. Lampard commented afterwards, "It was a great feeling for everybody in the stadium. It was a tough night and it looked like it was going to be 0-0. So that's now 5 wins in 6 league matches for Coventry as their resurgence under Lampard continues. 10th is as high as Coventry have been in the Championship since Matchday 3 as they keep their eyes firmly fixed on chasing down those above them. Coventry City match winner Bobby Thomas says they needed their smash and grab win over QPR to believe their Championship playoff push is back on track after successive defeats. Lampard will take his team next to Hillsborough to take on Coventry City, while Preston are next to visit the CBS Arena a week on Saturday. QPR have been in strong form since the start of December. Only Leeds United have won more Championship games than Queen's Park Rangers, but a frustrating defeat for them. 13th is great considering their poor start to the season, but it's so tight in that mid-table area that whoever can put a great run together still has a huge chance of a playoff spot. The whole changing room was angry and disappointed, said Martí Cifuentes, which is how I want to see my players when we lose a game like this. Most importantly, good teams react strongly after a change, and they change this dynamic. It's Friday night football up next for QPR taking on struggling Derby County before a trip down south to take on Portsmouth at Fratton Park. The now announced appointment of John Eustace as Derby County boss, Derby stuttered to a home draw over Oxford United at Pride Park. The game was quite uneventful with both teams struggling to create clear-cut opportunities. Derby had the best of the shots on target, but they looked unlikely to break through on a goalless Tuesday evening. There were a few close moments, including a smart save from Derby's goalkeeper Jakob Zetterstrom and a diving save from Oxford's Jamie Cumming. Nathaniel Mendes-Lang twice tested Oxford goalkeeper Cumming, while Kenzo Galvin dragged a shot wide for Derby and Dembele forced Zetterstrom into diving save himself. Opportunities to break the deadlock remained scarce after the interval, with Salverson doing well to direct an acrobatic effort on target, but his scissor kick lacked any real power. The Norwegian again went on to test, coming soon after with a header before Harness squandered what was the most gifted chance afforded by either side on the night, which was dominated by a really strong defensive performance. Matt Hamshaw, interim boss, said, "I don't want to be too downbeat. We got a point and a clean sheet, but I expect much better, really. I know I'm a little bit negative, but I just have really high demands and really high expectations for the group." That's now 10 matches across all competitions without a win for Derby. Eustace has a real job in his hands to keep them in the Championship. The Rams had lost their last 5 home league games without scoring a single goal. And while they didn't taste defeat this time out, they didn't taste a goal either. They need to find wins from somewhere and fast. Of course, Derby, being in talks with current Blackburn manager John Eustace, has now gone through, having enacted a clause in his contract allowing them to do so. They're happy now it's got all sorted quickly so he can move on to the weekend when they'll need him to sprinkle some magic. Derby go searching for this elusive win next on Friday evening under the lights at Loftus Road against QPR, and a week later host Millwall in a Saturday lunchtime kickoff. Oxford once again proved themselves hard to beat as they really have improved and tightened up since Boxing Day in particular. One loss now in the last 11 league games shows their resolution and earning their 16th position to see them clear of the relegation fight, which they will be keen and ecstatic to avoid. Gary Rowett said it was a game that lacked quality. "I thought we got embroiled in a little bit of a fight and a little bit of a scrap." Up next for Oxford, they have the lunchtime fixture on Saturday to host fellow promoted side Portsmouth before a trip to West Bromwich Albion is ahead on the fixture list. Portsmouth returned to their excellent home league form as they overtook relegation rivals Cardiff City with a 2-1 victory at Fratton Park. In the 9th minute, Bishop received a pass from Josh Murphy inside the box. He took a touch to control the ball and then clinically stabbed it into the bottom right corner of the net. Conor Shaughnessy doubled Cardiff's trouble with a header from a Josh Murphy corner. That's 2 assists for the former Cardiff winger. But Cardiff did respond quickly in the 22nd minute to reduce the deficit to 2-1 thanks to a Callum O'Dowda header. But that's when the scoring ended. Portsmouth defence had to withstand pressure from Cardiff, especially in the second half, but they managed to hold on for the win. Bishop was the standout player, scoring his 50th goal for Portsmouth and earning the Man of the Match award. Mousinho said afterwards, "My brain is a bit frazzled by some of the things we did, but we've come away with 3 points, which is the most important thing." Portsmouth moved 4 points clear of the relegation zone up to 18th place, while Cardiff dropped to 20th, nervously looking over their shoulder. Portsmouth have now lost just one of their last 10 home league games, winning 7 along the way during this period. It's been a key factor in their resurgence to challenge for survival. After 2 shutouts at home in recent games and a run of 4 without a win, this was a timely 3 points for Pompey. That's 50 goals now for Colby Bishop, who's been going through a goal drought in open play. Important milestone since signing from 2022, and a positive hopefully for the rest of Pompey's season from their fans' perspective. Next up for John Mousinho's team is an away fixture against Oxford United before they host Queen's Park Rangers the following week. City were unbeaten across their last 6 away league games against Portsmouth, with their last league defeat at Fratton Park coming in January 1974. Off the back of the Leeds stuffing last week, that's 2 losses in 2 for Cardiff, as after their recent good run, there is worrying signs of dropping back into a poor run of form. "I'm disappointed, we made it hard for ourselves," said the Cardiff boss. "To go 2 down early on again is hard work. After 20 minutes we were better and got the goal, created chances, and we maybe should have scored, but we weren't good enough." Cardiff face a lunchtime fixture on Saturday, hosting Bristol City at 12:30, ahead of a trip to Plymouth for another Saturday lunchtime fixture the following weekend. Strong Leeds performance in both attack and defence on display at Vicarage Road, as Daniel Farke's men saw off Watford 4-0 on Tuesday night. Leeds United took control early in the game, with Dan James scoring twice in the first 20 minutes. His first goal came from a defensive error by Edo Kayemba, and the second from a rapid counter-attack. Solomon scored the third goal just before half-time with a deflected shot that wrong-footed Watford's goalkeeper, and Joel Pirao sealed the victory with a fourth in the 62nd minute, following excellent work from Ayo Tanaka. With Leeds cutting loose with their full repertoire of attacking skills, James went close to bagging his hat-trick, pushing a shot from distance just wide after a flowing move. But Leeds are showing such depth and strength in attack, and are scoring goals almost at will. A tough night for Watford, who kept plugging away and hit the bar, had a late Imran loser effort saved, but ultimately were well beaten. Farke said, "We were really excellent in executing our counter-attacks, and the fourth goal was poetry in motion." You'd have to say the individual performance of the players up front was very top level. Watford have lost their last 5 home league matches. Outside of the top flight, it's the first time the Hornets have lost 5 in a row at Vicarage Road since December 2013. Leeds have been a troublesome opponent for a while. Watford are winless across their last 6 league games against Leeds, losing 4, conceding more than 2 goals in each of their last 5 meetings with the Yorkshire side. Tom cleverly commented after this one, "A tough night? Absolutely. We're in the presence of a very strong Championship side. I think we knew that before, but it's one of the best teams I have seen at this level." The Hornets will hope for happier times at Middlesbrough on Saturday afternoon in the Championship. Then a week later, they host Luton Town on the Sunday. United maintained their unbeaten run in the last 14 league games. This includes 10 wins and keeping 6 clean sheets in a row. They're in great form at the right time for the promotion push. That's 13 goals now for Leeds in their last 3 Championship games. They're playing some exhilarating football, yet with it so tight at the top, still only 2 points clear of Sheffield United. Manor Solomon has been involved in 11 goals in his last 10 Championship appearances, with 5 goals and 6 assists. Tremendous figures from the Israeli international. Leeds have a big promotion battle on Monday night now as they host Sunderland, then a mammoth clash also on a Monday, taking on fellow promotion and top spot rivals Sheffield United. One certainly not to miss. Milutin Osmajic's early finish was the difference at Carrow Road as Preston went away with all 3 points from their clash with Norwich City. The only goal of the game came just 5 minutes into the game. Mads Frokiar slipped past 2 defenders and squared the ball to Osmajic, who tapped into the net. Norwich City's defence had a tough night, with Callum Doyle making a key mistake that led to Preston's goal. Preston had several chances to extend their lead, but they failed to capitalise on them. Ryan Ledson and Osmajic both missed good opportunities in the first half. Norwich dominated possession, but they struggled to create any clear-cut chances. Anis Ben Slimani's shot was their only effort on target before half-time. Preston's defence held firm, limiting Norwich to a few clear-cut opportunities and securing the win. Heckingbottom, the players were magnificent, he said, for the whole game, and Freddie Woodman only had one shot to save, and that was from distance. That shows how well the team defended. The win moves Preston within 5 points of the Championship playoff zone, while Norwich missed an opportunity to move into the top 6. Now, so tight around those playoff positions, no one is out of it after a game or two, but Norwich will be disappointed to only take 1 point from home games against Derby and Preston. Norwich were unbeaten across their last 4 league games against Preston heading into this one, so may have expected more. Thorpe said in his post-match interview, "We didn't really find the rhythm and flow. We know they're a physical team and their game plan is so much about duels and tackles, and a hard fight to kill the flow in the game, and we had prepared for that, but it's hard." Away at Hull City comes next for the Canaries on Saturday, ahead of their next Championship fixture at Carrow Road when they host Stoke City. Just a third win away in the Championship this season for Preston. Osmaic has his 12th goal now of the season, giving Preston that impressive away win at the playoff chasing Norwich. Preston have lost just 3 of their last 16 Championship matches, and although they lost last time out to Blackburn, they are yet to lose consecutively under Paul Heckingbottom. Recent form has lifted Preston closer to mid-table and the playoffs than relegation, now only 3 points behind their opponents on Tuesday, Norwich. Preston have 2 successive home games on the horizon, with Deepdale hosting Burnley on Saturday lunchtime and a midweek catch-up fixture against Millwall on Wednesday. Anis Mehmeti was at the double with both goals to give Bristol City victory against Stoke City, maintaining their push for the playoffs. The opening goal took just 11 minutes to surface as Mark Sykes delivered a precise cross from the right and Mehmeti tapped it home from close range. Stoke had a chance to level quickly, but Lowe's cross clipped the top of the bar before Sinclair Armstrong had a chance to double Bristol City's lead on 30 minutes, but his shot was saved by keeper Victor Johansson. The home side continued to get on top in the second half as Dickey nearly converted a Scott Twine set piece, and Mehmeti made sure of the victory in the 73rd minute when he smashed a fierce angled strike into the top corner following Dickey's header from a bird corner, causing chaos in the penalty area. Stoke, in contrast, struggled to create significant chances and didn't test Bristol City's goalkeeper Max O'Leary. Sub-Yu Hirakawa also almost made it 3, but was denied by a fine save from Johansson. He also kept out Naki Wells' effort moments later as the home side piled on more pressure. Manning said afterwards, "We had an honest meeting yesterday about what we can do better, how we can improve. We need to be tough on ourselves, not hide away, and the players are open to that, and their result obviously showed it." So, Bristol City remain well in the playoff hunt, rising to 7th position, their highest Championship table position since Matchday 2. Anis Mehmeti has taken his tally to 11 now for the Championship season as Bristol City's top goal scorer, a strong goals per game ratio of 0.5 after scoring just 4 last season. Consistency is going to be the key if they are to break into those top places, trading wins, draws and losses in their past 7 matches. Saturday lunchtime is next on the fixture list for the Robins, with an away fixture at Cardiff City, ahead of a Friday night encounter at home against Michael Carrick's Middlesbrough. Away form continues to be a problem, and although Stoke ended a 7-game winless away league run with a 2-1 victory at Hull last time out, the Potters haven't won consecutive away games since March 2024. Stoke City had won each of their last 2 away league games against Bristol City going into this one, but it wasn't to be today. Mark Robins said, "We had more possession and didn't have a shot on target, which is a damning statistic and one I'm embarrassed about. We have to win the duels and have an attacking intent." So next up for Stoke, they will host Swansea City on Saturday before they take the trip to Carrow Road to take on Norwich a week later. Two early goals from Burnley and an inevitable clean sheet, of course, saw the Clarets triumph over Hull in this midweek Championship clash. Burnley have now kept 10 consecutive clean sheets in the Championship. No side in the second-tier history has ever kept 10 clean sheets in a row. They continue to break records. The home side showcased one of their most complete 45-minute displays of the season in the first half. They controlled the game, created numerous chances as well, and kept Hull at arm's length. Bashir Humphrey scored his first ever goal for Burnley just 3 minutes into the game, capitalising on a cross from Lyle Foster to break the deadlock early. Zian Fleming then doubled the lead in the 21st minute with a header from a cross by Jadon Anthony. The second half provided little chance for the away side, with Hull substitute Mason Burstow trying a hopeful effort from range and João Pedro having a shot tipped over by Burnley keeper James Trafford. Scott Parker said afterwards, "I thought we were outstanding tonight. I thought first half we were really dominant, carved Hull open. We moved the ball with real diligence, technical ability and created numerous chances. If Burnley can continue to be more dangerous on the attack with that dominant defence, we really are in for an exciting promotion battle." So the Championship record of clean sheets is 25 for an entire season. The Clarets already have 23 in 31 matches, which still remains an incredible statistic. Added to that, Burnley are unbeaten across their last 7 league games against Hull City, conceding 1 or fewer goals in each of those matches, so it's a good team for them to face. Adding goals to their solid backline has been the challenge. They were more fluid in this one, an early goal in front of the wanting home fans was always going to help with that as well. Next up for Burnley, they travel to Preston for the lunchtime Saturday kickoff before a Friday night fixture just a week later where they're hosting Sheffield Wednesday. The Tigers will be looking at other fixtures on the horizon as better chances to get out of trouble than this one, but games are running out and it's starting to look a right scrap down there at the bottom. Hull had won their last 3 away league games without conceding, having lost 5 in a row beforehand. But Burnley are proving very difficult to even score against, let alone defeat. Ruben Selles said afterwards, "I was disappointed. We came here with a clear idea as we do usually. The first goal put us a little bit out of the game. We were not able to apply any kind of pressure." A home championship fixture for Hull at the weekend against Norwich before Sellers takes his team to Sunderland for a lunchtime kick-off the following week. Plymouth backed up their sensational FA Cup win against Liverpool with the biggest win of the Championship season in a 5-1 victory over Millwall at home park. The home side took control early, scoring 2 goals within the first 10 minutes, and Ryan Hardy, as he did against Liverpool, converted a penalty after Casper De Norre had fouled Adam Randall. 7 minutes after half-time, an Icelandic defender, Victor Paulsen, headed onto Bundu, who fired home after good close control. Alex Neil's side looked a shadow of the team that were unbeaten in 5, struggling to create chances against the home side. More Millwall misery with the 4th as a mix-up from George Saville's weak back pass to Jensen saw Hardy nick in to dink past the keeper for his second. Brian did get a goal in the right net in the end for Millwall when he side-footed in Femi Aziz's pass, but there was still time for Katic to touch in Plymouth's 5th from close range after Millwall had failed to deal with an in-swinging corner kick. Music said we as staff found the right balance to support the lads to enjoy this great achievement, a historical moment, but not to forget that the daily bread is the Championship and we have to collect points and look to win games. Argyle are now a point from safety, moved off the bottom, while Millwall remain in 14th place after their heaviest defeat of the season. 2 wins on the trot in the league, the confidence of the FA Cup carrying forward. Plymouth now have renewed hope. The city is buzzing again after Miran Muslic has come in and they'll have real belief that the Great Escape is on as well. Plymouth had failed to win any of their last 8 league games against Millwall, their last one being a 3-0 home victory in 1997. Ryan Hardy scored both of Plymouth's goals in their 2-1 win over West Brom as well, having only netted once in his previous 35 Championship games. Adding his Liverpool winner and 2 here, that's now 5 in 3 matches. Plymouth will be on their travels for the next 2 Championship matches though. Blackburn Rovers at the weekend and Luton Town in midweek await Muslic's side. A bad day at the office? That's what Alex Neil will be hoping, as Millwall have been in good form and of course knocked Leeds out the FA Cup just last weekend. Millwall had won their last 3 league games, having won none of their first 4 under Alex Neil, but this was a thumping result for them down in Plymouth. "I'm bitterly disappointed," Neil said. "It couldn't have gone much worse. The goals we conceded, I didn't think Plymouth needed to do much to score from. It's been a catalogue of errors throughout the match." Millwall host West Bromwich Albion on Saturday before they take a trip away on Tuesday to face Preston in the Championship. Luton slipped to the basement of the Championship, going down 2-0 to Sunderland, who continue their promotion push. Lefay scored his first goal for Sunderland in the 13th minute, capitalising on a great pass from Trey Hume, curling a superb low finish into the far corner. Wilson Isidore doubled the lead in the 58th minute after Lefay's low cross was collected by Lamine Fané, who inadvertently set up Isidore to slot the ball into the bottom corner. Sunderland controlled the game from start to finish, while Luton struggled to create significant chances. The home side limited their opponents to just 4 shots, none of which hit the target. Bloomfield made a host of changes during the match, but the host went close to adding another goal as Patrick Roberts rattled the post and Isidore glanced their header wide. Sunderland were well-worthy winners. Regis Lebris said it's a question of disturbing their low block to create chances. In that situation, we needed an X factor, and it was important to have a player like Enzo today to make the difference. The win keeps Sunderland in the thick of the battle for the automatic promotion, maintaining their unbeaten home record in the Championship this season, while Luton slipped to the bottom. That maintains Sunderland's unbeaten Championship record in 2025 so far as well. Trying to keep touch with an electric top 3 is difficult, but credit to Sunderland who are justifying their position. They are unbeaten across their last 11 league games against Luton Town. They also won the reverse fixture in the Championship 2-1 in October, so they do the double over them. Wilson Isidore jumped to 11 goals for Sunderland at a rate of 0.44 goals per 90, which works out at 206 minutes per goal. Monday night under the Ellen Road lights for Sunderland next, in a tough test against high-flying Leeds. Regis Lebris will take his team then to host Hull City the week after. Matt Bloomfield is winless in his 5 Championship games as Luton manager. The last Hatters boss to have a longer winless start of the league was Mick Harford in the 2007-2008 season. 12 defeats in their last 13 away games have been part of seeing Luton sink to the bottom of the league. All the statistics look bad. It's a mile away from what Luton were producing in seasons past. Bloomfield said we need to learn the lessons as quickly as possible. We're short a little bit of Championship experience right now, but the boys are giving us everything. They're desperate to improve, and I'll take that any day. 2 home games to try and learn those lessons for Luton up next. Sheffield United this weekend will be difficult, then they have a midweek encounter taking on in-form Plymouth. Sheffield Wednesday remain in the hunt for the playoffs with a victory as they pick up a 1-0 victory at Swansea City. Wednesday started the match strongly, with Ike Ugbo creating the first opening in the 9th minute, but Darling made a crucial recovery tackle. The match was largely a defensive battle, few clear chances. Swansea's Miles Peart-Harris came closest with a header that forced a save from Wednesday goalkeeper James Beadle. Smith, who came off the bench, scored the winning goal in the 66th minute. He hammered home from the edge of the area after Josh Windass intercepted a weak pass from Harry Darling. Swansea had trouble creating significant chances during the game. The loss of Grimes is clearly a huge blow, continuing to frustrate home fans as well with their inconsistent performances. They thought, though, they'd equalised in stoppage time when Jay Fulton scored, but the goal was ruled out for offside. Danny Roll said, when a home team has just 4 shots, I think it shows a lot about how we pressed as a group. This is how we have to play. A clean sheet always gives us the opportunity to win games. Now, Swansea's form is worrying. They are 8 points above the relegation zone in 17th, but their form is as bad as anyone in the division. They will be continuing to glance over their shoulder if this continues. So the Swans failed to build on their weekend win at Bristol City as they suffered a 3rd successive home defeat. It's now 6 losses in the past 8 games for Luke Williams' team. Swansea were unbeaten across their last 7 league games against Sheffield Wednesday going into this one. Williams said it was quite a dull game. There wasn't too much going on out there. Ultimately, it was a bit of an error that cost us, and we were nowhere near clinical enough at the other end of the pitch. Swansea will take the road to Stoke on Saturday for their next Championship game, before they host Blackburn Rovers the following weekend. Smith's 8 of the season was enough to see Wednesday just 2 points shy now off the top 6 with a much needed victory, having won now just twice in their last 7 games. Wednesday had failed to win any of their last 6 away games against Swansea, so a win in South Wales would have been a nice change for Owls fans. It's their inconsistency that's so hard to predict though. What's next? They've been trading wins, defeats and draws. They want to try and consolidate a run to get into the top 6, and what an achievement that would be. Hillsborough awaits for the return of Sheffield Wednesday to welcome Coventry this weekend, before a Friday night trip to Burnley a week later. Sheffield United followed the Leeds victory with a home one of their own over Middlesbrough 3-1 to reduce the gap at the top back down to 2 points. Raksaki opened the scoring for Sheffield United in the 32nd minute, capitalising on a defensive error by Middlesbrough. Now, Borough equalised just before half-time with a penalty scored by Bergzorg. Sparked a bit of controversy due to a shirt-grabbing incident, but overall Michael Carrick's team struggled in defence. Errors leading to 2 of the Sheffield United goals, possibly the 3rd. Brereton Diaz, who came on as a substitute, scored the decisive goal in the 75th minute, putting Sheffield United back in front with a classy finish. Akmahodzic sealed the victory with a header from a corner in the 87th minute, making it 3-1 and another key win for the Blades. Chris Wilder said, "We reviewed and reflected after the weekend and they've come roaring back, so I'm delighted. They've taken on board how we wanted to play. That was more us tonight. There was a real good feel about this." The manager was particularly impressed with the team's disciplined press and effective possession play, which prevented Middlesbrough from gaining any rhythm. The win keeps Sheffield United within 2 points of leaders Leeds United and maintaining their strong position in the promotion race. Sheffield United have now won 7 of their last 9 home league games against Borough, reversing this exact fixture, which was a 3-1 loss when it was last played in February 23. With Leeds so prolific in attack and Burnley so resolute in defence, it's still worth noting that Sheffield United have won more games than anyone else in the league this season. What a promotion race we have in store. Luton are up next for the Blades on Saturday afternoon, with their mouth-watering clash on the horizon at home to Leeds United in a battle of the Championship top 2. Middlesbrough have lost 4 of their last 5 league games. They've not lost 3 in a row since December 2023, and they've been plummeting a little bit from the playoff race. Delano Bergzorg, though, has scored in each of his last 3 Championship appearances, scoring more goals than he had in his previous 31 Championship games combined. With no Latte Lath now, he's looking to step up and needed to. Carrick said, "There's always the next game, there's always the next result, there's always the next opportunity to do that. But we can't keep saying the same things." Middlesbrough have a chance to redeem this recent form with a home match against Watford next, before they travel to Bristol City the following Friday. Blackburn ended their recent winless league form with an impressive win away at Tony Mowbray's West Brom at 2-0 at the Hawthorns. Maktar Gay scored both goals for Rovers, with his first coming from a volley in the 47th minute and the second from a back post strike in the 63rd. West Brom keeper Joe Wildsmith was at fault for both goals. He failed to keep out Gay's volley, allowing the second goal to slip through his hands. The Baggies did have 2 goals disallowed between Blackburn's first and second goals, one for a foul and one for offside, ultimately couldn't get on the score sheet. Despite the absence of their now former head coach John Eustace, Blackburn delivered a spirited performance under first team coach David Lowe. Mowbray made 4 second half substitutions to try and find the missing spark, but it was to no avail. Albion failed to score at home for the first time since they faced Burnley in November. Lowe said afterwards, "It's been a difficult week, so to come to a place like this and perform like we did in and out of possession was a great credit to the lads." He also added, "It's sad to see John Eustace and the other 2 coaches go." The win moved Blackburn up to 5th place, leapfrogging West Brom and solidifying their top 6 status. This defeat was a damning one for West Brom, who were beaten at home for the first time in 12 games. They're still searching for their first back-to-back wins since September. West Brom have won just 1 of their last 7 league games now against Blackburn Rovers. It's not often the Baggies fail in front of goal, and perhaps most surprisingly, that's now 5 games without a draw for a team who had plenty of them before the arrival of Mowbray. The Baggies will be looking to get back on track on Saturday away at Millwall, ahead of a home fixture with Oxford United the following weekend. A big win for Rovers around the John Eustace uncertainty. They had lost their last 3 away games in the Championship heading into this one. Be a huge bonus to take away points off their playoff rivals. Blackburn had failed to win any of their last 6 away league games against West Brom, with this win their first since a 3-1 victory at the Hawthorns in December 2010. Now, obviously, Eustace has now gone to Derby. A lot to talk about that in a week. Now it's confirmed Blackburn have to find a way forward. They'll hope it doesn't derail their season, which has been way above their initial expectations. Next up for Blackburn, they welcome Plymouth to Ewood Park on Saturday before a trip the following weekend to Swansea. So here's how the table looks going into that next round of fixtures. The top 4 are well clear, but it's very interesting. Some big games coming up between them in the coming weeks. Leeds still top on 69, Sheffield United 2 points behind, Burnley and Sunderland on their shoulder as well. The playoffs, Blackburn jumped back in there, West Brom dropped to 6th, but look how tight it is from 7th all the way down to 15th there. That is just 5 points. It's a very intriguing battle for playoffs as well. Dropping down to the bottom, another fight. Portsmouth to Luton, there's just 6 points difference. Luton in free fall. Plymouth will be hoping with recent form that they look a little bit better, but that is also looking like an incredible battle. Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, it'd be fantastic for the channel. Also, if you're into EFL National League podcasts, the Absolute Football podcast are live with their Absolutely Lower League show on Thursday. Do check that out on their channel. But for now, thank you for watching. Catch you on the next one and enjoy the football.